a first-time caller out of Michigan. Scott, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, JLP, how are you?
All is well, Scott.
So I just wanted to give you a call. You know, I'm going through a situation right now where I unfortunately had sex out of wedlock. I know you recommend against. And it was only one time, and she got pregnant, and the baby is almost a year old now. We are engaged, but she's like refusing to get married. She's got some commitment issues. I think, she's extremely close with her mama, and I am kind of at a loss for what to do. I think her mom and her are a little bit codependent in the sense that they're always there together. They're kind of robbing me of my fatherly responsibilities. Like I said, she's delayed getting married. There's no date in place. And I'm just kind of looking to see what advice you would give, whether or not it's worth continuing to pursue, or if I should just kind of move on and make the best life for my baby as I can and try and start fighting for custody, etc.
Number one, why are you engaged to her?
So we got engaged. Literally, I bought the ring for her the day we found out she was pregnant. There are some issues, like, so I'm a Christian, she's Catholic, and there are definitely some differences there with religion, and so it's not to say everything's perfect, but we got engaged, trying to do the best thing for the child, and she actually broke off the engagement subsequently, probably about 2 months afterwards. Then we got engaged, again after he was born, probably a couple months after he was born.
So you asked her to marry you again when she broke it off?
No, she just kind of took the ring back.
And why are you engaged to her?
I think, so I definitely love her. I think,
You say you love her?
I'm not yeah, I think I definitely love her.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think she kind of is an anomaly in the sense that she's not like these typical modern women.
Everything you said about it is just like them.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right in the sense she has some.
But why are you saying she's
tendencies
not like the typical modern woman when she is?
Well, I think she has a lot of values that are.
Speak up, Scott. Speak into your phone and a little louder.
I think she has a lot of values that are against the modern culture. She's Republican, and she is not a feminist at all. There's a lot of things that she has going for her, and I also don't want to understate the importance of having an intact family. I think that's extremely important, and I'm just kind of trying to do what I think is best for all three of us.
So this woman, according to you, can't break away from her mama. She won't break away. She could, but she is not breaking away from her mama, right?
Correct.
She doesn't want to set a date for the wedding, right?
Yeah, not yet.
She called off the she called off the wedding, right?
There was
and so Scott,
engagement.
I'm sorry.
Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
And so how is she different from any other woman? Just because she's a Republican, it sounds like she has the same spirit that a feminist have. How is she different?
Well, I think you're right in a lot of ways.
No, I'm asking you how. I'm asking how is she different?
Yeah, like I said, she's not a feminist. I think
She is a
has,
feminist. What is not feminist about her? She won't obey you. She called off the engagement. She's not breaking away from her mother to be with you. Why is she not a feminist?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you put it that way, you can definitely make the argument that she is.
But why are you saying she's not?
I'm saying she's not because, you know, a lot of her words and her beliefs, and, you know, she's a very family-oriented person, obviously, a little too much, I think, with her biological family. But I think she really is a great mom, and she's extremely, like I said, against like feminist culture. She dresses
How is she
modestly.
extremely against it when is her action different than her words?
I think, like I said, I think she dresses in a modest way.
Is her action different than her words?
I don't think so. I think
She called off the engagement.
well, we were dating for such a short period
She
of
will
time.
She will not depart from her mother. She will not set a date for the wedding. She's not obeying you. How is that different than any other feminist?
So then, what would you say my course of action should be?
You need to come out of your head and stop listening to the lies of thoughts, because all you're doing is you're in prison of your imagination, and you're getting these answers from the imagination which will always be wrong. And I understand it. But you're looking for the answer in thoughts, and all you're doing is getting deeper into hell. That woman is going to give you nothing but hell. Will she obey you?
She is definitely not as submissive as I would like her to be. That's for sure.
So why are you marrying a woman, or even considering marrying a woman that will not obey you? You see, the trouble is right there, but you're ignoring it. Why is that?
I think, like I said, I really value having an intact household for the sake of, you know, my child. And
what is an intact household?
Like a family unit, like a husband and a wife, and I just think that is what is the cause of healthy children at the end of the day.
Do you know any family, husband and wife, that have healthy children?
I mean, I guess not. I do know that many have extremely unhealthy children.
And so why do you think that's going to work for you then?
Well, I think when you look at, you know, just the outcomes of children when they're in homes that have two parents, they tend to do way better. Is that not
way
true?
Better than what?
Than homes that are broken.
Do you know any family that is not broken and the children are doing way better?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Do you know any family where the children are doing well, way better?
I know that there are children who do way better with two parents.
How do you know that?
I mean, just from, I guess you could say it's anecdotal, but just the people I interact with who are from homes with two parents tend to be more well-adjusted than
in what way?
Parents, and you know, they're just more socially adept. They tend to not be involved in violent crimes. Do
you know anyone like that?
Do I know anyone who
are the children that came from two parents and they're way better today?
Yeah, I think I do.
And
then people who would come from a one parent.
Have you noticed that those children? I understand the principle of what you're saying, but that doesn't exist in America today. It exists in the old school, but not today. The kids today are angry. They're They have fear. They have doubt. They have a degree,
definitely.
but they're still miserable.
I think you're 100% correct. I'm not disagreeing with
And that's
the
what's going to
general
happen.
malaise.
Scott, you're getting involved with a woman that you know it ain't going to turn out well, and yet you're doing it, and you're making up all these excuses in your head.
I think that's kind of the reason for my call. I'm trying to work through a lot of these issues, and I don't think it's. I mean, obviously, this is all from the mistake of having sex out of wedlock. So it's my mistake to begin with. But
That doesn't mean you got to make it worse by getting married to a woman that's not going to obey you. All you're going to do is argue and fight and destroy the child even more so.
You don't think if I was there, I'd be able to protect him from the woman's destruction?
No, not at all.
You think I would just be dragged into it?
100%, because look at you now. You can't even make this woman leave her mama. You can't make her set a wedding date. You can't make her stay engaged. You have no control now. Why do you think you're going to have control after you get married?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. I think you're right about that. It's
No,
just
that was a
about
question.
whether-
That was a question. Why do you think you're going to have control after you marry when you don't have it now?
I don't. I'm not claiming to be able to control her. Unfortunately.
So why would you
she's,
even consider for a second marriage something like that?
Like I said, it's just the fact of trying to create an environment for my child that is healthier than being alone with his mom, his mama.
But the environment is going to get worse if you marry her, because you're going to be two devils living together fighting all the time, and she's going to the hatred that she has for you, she's going to pass that on to your child.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of resentment that's built up as a result of this.
And yet you want to marry her.
I think that's, like I said, it's just because of the fact of wanting to remain with my child as much as possible, and creating an environment where he can still have a dad around as much as he can. And
you have a better chance. Do what you want, of course, but you have a better chance maybe having that by not marrying her, because once you marry her, all hell going to break loose, even worse than what has already happened.
So you would recommend then just cutting it off?
I would recommend that you stop believing the lies of the imagination, because the devil is sending you right into hell, and he's giving you all these fancy ideas. Oh, it's better to be married for the child so you can be there for the child. Forget about this woman has already given you hell. Forget about the fact that she's not going to leave her mother. Forget about the fact that her mother's going to take over and make it even worse. Forget about the fact that she's not obeying you. She's ever telling you, forget about that. Do it this way. It's going to be better. And you believe in more lies. And it sounds so good to say, oh, I just think we should be married because it's better to I stay with my child and all that. That ain't going to work. You have a woman that will not obey you. You can't change her.
Yeah. Do you think I should continue to try to see if, we can negotiate the terms of the relationship, or do you think it's just too far gone?
What does that mean?
Like negotiate the terms of the relationship in the sense of, seeing if she'd be able to, one, break away from her mama, and two, start to be more of a submissive wife and mother, and kind of let me take the lead.
Let you take it? You think any woman gonna let you take the lead? What the fact the fact that you need her to let you take the lead is proof that you ain't gonna take the lead.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And how you going to negotiate someone being right? You can't negotiate her being right. She either have to be right or she's not. You can't make another person be right through negotiation.
The problem is, Jesse, is that the women nowadays are so far gone that it's almost like choosing between the lesser of two evils. And it feels like as much as she's got her issues, I'm not claiming to be perfect at all, obviously, but as much as she got her issues, I feel like she's better than what's going to be out there, and it's worth trying to mend this relationship, especially when considering, like I said, the child factor.
How are you going to mend a relationship with an evil person?
Like I said, it feels like every woman out there now is.
Why are you choosing? Why are you looking for a woman at this point?
Well, I think, we're supposed to have, a helper. I think.
Who told you that? Helped you to do what?
I think women are.
You want her to help push you around in a wheelchair eventually?
I just think I don't think men are supposed to be alone necessarily, especially once they.
Do you think you're supposed to be looking for a woman?
No, I mean.
Well, why are you looking?
I'm not necessarily out there looking, especially not right now.
Are you looking before you found this, and were you looking?
I would say I was actively dating. Yeah, looking, however you want to call it.
Well, you found the devil.
I look and I found.
You look and you found. You should only seek the kingdom of heaven in his right way, and he will add a woman unto you if it's meant to be, and it will be the right one. But if you have some idea of what kind of woman you want and you out there looking, all you're going to ever find is the devil, daughter, and she will destroy you and your children. And then you'll make up excuses. Oh, we got a baby now. Oh, somehow let's negotiate. You can't negotiate with the devil.
Well, you make a good point, and it's kind of something that's obviously been on my mind too. It's not like you're saying something that I haven't thought. It's just, I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons of this decision and try to make the best decision, obviously, for my son.
You can't weigh and the pros and cons when you're dealing with evil. You have to see your way out of evil, how to overcome it. You can't. The devil is evil, and he's not going to change, and you can't weigh some pros and cons with evil. You want to see evil so you can overcome it. And you're seeing it, and rather than overcome it, you're getting deeper into it.
So even though she understands, so we've had these conversations before about, submission, the importance of it. She understands that it's something that needs to happen, but she's also saying, well, that's for a husband and wife, and we're not married yet. And
she doesn't understand it, because if she understood it already, there would be no conversation about it.
Right. Okay. Well, I have some good stuff to work with. I appreciate your insight.
What do you have to work with right now? Are you able to hold, Scott?
Yeah, I can hold.
I want to go back to the first time I called out of Michigan, Scott. And according to Scott, he has this baby now by a woman he's dating. They got engaged. She broke it off. They got back. She won't agree to a wedding date. She won't leave her mama. And Scott trying to figure out, and she won't obey Scott. But yet he's trying to figure out, what should I do? So Scott.
Yep.
Can you tell me, can you tell me one good reason why you should marry her?
The one good reason why I should marry her is to keep my son with a father in the home as much as humanly possible.
And if she will not obey you, what makes you think that's going to happen?
What makes me think that I'll still be able to be in the home?
Yes.
Well, if we get married, then I'll be in the home.
No, you
I
won't.
know she's.
You'll be
Why
there for
not?
a minute because she and her mother is not going to allow that to happen.
So my plan was to, eventually buy a house away from her mom, because right now she's living right next to her. And I think that if we were able to get our own place, I'd be able to kind of influence her decisions more, and kind of steer her away from the mom.
That's not going to happen. Her mother will move into your house if you move away. Why do you think she's going to move away from her mother with you?
Well, that's like the plan as of right now, is to like.
That's your plan, but not
eventually-
hers.
Well, that's her. She's told me that she would want to do that, like get a house. She'd still want to be like, I'm sure, like in the general area of her mom, within like probably 15, 20 minutes. But
So she's not leaving her mama there. You can move
Well,
to
she
West
wouldn't-
Hell and the mama will come there.
yeah, I mean, I definitely think her mom is always going to be a part of the picture, unfortunately. This is kind of the same thing that her sister is married, and it's kind of a similar situation where the mom is just so ingrained in the family that she just kind of is always around, and I don't know how to combat that. I think what you're saying is there is no way to combat that and to just kind of give up and let her live in her hell. But I also think that I at least owe it to my son to try and make it work and do the best I can to fight that. And I don't know if the alternative is going to be better for him. I think it's going to be worse for him, because he'll be more coddled by the mom and more influenced by the family as a whole. Whereas if I'm there, I can exert my influence. And
Is this woman black?
she white?
Is she a black woman?
No, she white.
Oh, she's white.
white.
And are you white?
I'm white. Yeah.
Scott, if you marry this woman, I can predict your future.
Okay, let me hear it.
She and her mother will defeat you. They will destroy your child. They will take your home. They will throw you out. They'll make you go to court, and the lawyer will rip you off. And then if you are fortunate enough to get any visitation right, they'll make that difficult for you and have to go their way or no way at all, and you'll be miserable.
Well, we've already talked about court, pretty soon before he was born. We talked about court, and we decided we were not going to go to court. We wanted to continue to try and make it work. I don't think she would take me to court. I think she's afraid of court, to be honest. She doesn't want to go to court.
That's what you're thinking, and you believe the woman.
I think she knows that it would mean that I would get some guaranteed, overnights visitation, and that would take him away from her.
You're in a pipe dream, man. The court is not on your side.
Well, I have some friends who've had similar situations.
Why would you marry a woman already predicting that that's even possible?
Well, you got to be prepared for the worst, right? I don't want to go in there blind.
But you are going in there blind. That's why you're prepared for the worst. Because if you could see, you would not be going into it.
Well, I haven't gone into it yet, and I'm still, weighing all those factors, and that's why I'm trying to. I kind of had a feeling you would tell me to just kind of leave her and, let her.
I didn't tell you to leave her.
Well, that's kind of what I feel you're saying. What are you saying?
Here's what I'm saying. You need to start working on you so you can see clear. Because right now, you're in your imagination and you're listening to evil and thinking that it's working out your situation where it's only creating a deeper, darker situation for you. The very thought that hooked you up with this woman is the very thought that's setting you up to be destroyed by this woman. You're listening to the devil. You need to start working on yourself and take it one day at a time. Don't push this marriage thing at all. Work on you so you can see and you will see the right way to go. Right now, you're not seeing the right thing to go. Everything you've said is emotional and what you've been taught.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. It's been difficult to try and withhold my emotions in this situation. There's just so much energy that's gone into it, so much time. I mean, I'm working 2 jobs to try and, give him the best life I can. I'm sending her money, obviously. And I just feel like I am working on myself and just trying to make the best.
Working
decision.
2 jobs and giving your son money and stuff is not going to make his life better. Your son needs a father and a mother that doesn't have anger in their hearts.
Yeah.
Money ain't going to do it. It's just going to spoil him or whatever, but it ain't going to make his life better at all. Not one iota.
Yeah, and that's been the difficult part. I'm not able to see him as much as I would like,
Why not?
Well, because of these time commitments I have, I'm not living with her. We wanted to wait till we're married to start living together.
Oh, but you made the baby without being married. What else can happen?
Yeah, but would you say compounding a mistake with another one is the best?
No, but that's what
you
you're doing by marrying this woman at this time.
Well, we haven't gotten married yet, and like I said, we're still in a stage of trying to see if it could even work.
How old are you?
But 29.
And how old is she?
29.
Amazing. So here's what I recommend because of time. Have you gone and forgiven your mother yet?
I have, yeah.
How did that go?
It was good. I think just from my perspective, she didn't really understand it totally.
She understood it. She just didn't want to admit it.
Yeah, I think you're right. But, we have had our ups and downs in terms of our relationship. I love my parents very much. Don't get me wrong. But I think it was good to get that off my chest, and I can kind of move forward from that. She's like kind of the opposite of my fiance's mother. She's like the opposite of overbearing. She kind of just lets me do what I think is right at the time, and she doesn't really.
You're 29 years old. She has no business being involved in your life, period. But let me ask.
No, I think.
Are you doing? You forgave your father as well?
I didn't necessarily forgive my father. No, I've never heard you talk about that. I've just heard about forgiving the mother.
Do you hold anything against your father?
I think my father is, honestly, he's like my best friend. I think he's
good.
A great guy. He's always provided. He always, he steered me towards God as much as possible. I was in church every Sunday. I'm not saying that's the be-all, end-all, but I think he did the best he could do.
Here's what are you doing the silent prayer?
I haven't done it for months, if I'm being honest.
Well, no wonder. What the? Here's what I recommend, Scott. For a year, do not discuss getting married. I'm not telling you to break up with her, but do not get married. You're not in the right position, in your mind and emotions to get married at this point. This woman will not obey you. It's going to be trouble. I recommend you
Yeah.
stay engaged if you want to, but do not get married. I recommend for 1 year you do the silent prayer and watch those thoughts so you can see what to do, and the light of God will guide you, and you will see what to do, and you will not go wrong.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a good plan. And if things don't change in that year, you think then it's at that point time to discuss the co-parenting relationship.
If you do the silent prayer every morning, every night, and during the day, practice staying present, meaning don't be lost in the past or the future, and stay present, bring your mind back with your body, you will see what to do without question. It will be clear.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your time, Jesse Lee Peterson. This has been something I've been meaning to do for a while. Big fan, and I appreciate everything you do, specifically advocating for men and bringing them to God.
Do you know that all your thoughts are all lies all the time? Do you see that yet?
I see that in certain circumstances. Yeah, I don't want to be someone who doesn't think at all, but I can see the temptation to think and then convince yourself a lie is true.
Why do you, and that's what you're doing right now, and why do you not want to be the person that don't think at all? Why don't you want to live a think or no thinking free life rather than a thinking enslaved life?
I don't know how I can come to like logical conclusions or anything like that if I don't think,
But you're not coming to any logical conclusion by thinking. Why you think one day you will?
Well, I can definitely try it. I've always been I've been in my head always,
right?
Just always been that way. But
why do you think there are logical conclusions in your imagination?
Well, I think God gifts us with logic, and I think He makes it so we can come to those conclusions. And
God never done that. You're accusing God wrongly.
You don't think He gifted us with logic?
No.
No.
And it's not in your imagination, period.
Yeah, I definitely agree that I need to, try and come up with a better solution than overthinking. But I don't necessarily know how to go about that either.
Do the silent prayer so He will bring you out of those thoughts, and you will see that they are not yours, and eventually you will stop trusting them, and eventually they will disappear. Because they're all from the devil. You're consulting with the devil, and you're calling it logic from God.
Well, I'm trying to base my logic in the framework of, God's word and the Bible and all those things.
What does that mean?
So, my whole idea of trying to be like a family or not living together before marriage, I feel like those are all things that are based in Christianity, and I'm trying to use that framework as
it's never going to work that way. Never. You can't make that happen out of your imagination. You can't. God's word is in your heart. The word from God is in the Bible, but His words are in your heart, in the kingdom of heaven within. And you're not looking there. You're looking in the Bible, and you're looking in your imagination, and you're getting all the wrong answers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here's what I recommend, Scott. Do the silent prayer. Commit to it so you can come out of your darkness, the darkness. Do the silent prayer for a year. Don't talk to this woman about marriage. Don't even mention it again. Stay engaged if you like, but don't mention the marriage thing. And don't seem desperate like you got to marry her. You work on you so you can see the right thing to do.
Okay. Yep, I'll definitely do that. I'll maybe once it's all figured out, I'll give you a call again and give you an update.
All right. But work on yourself right now. How about your son? She is a Republican. She's not a feminist. She is a feminist. She may be Republican, but she's a feminist too. Work on you right now, Scott. You're not ready to be married at all.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
But I want you to see that for yourself, not just because I said it. If you don't see it for yourself, you're going to repeat it.
No, I see it for myself. It's just about, trying to put those thoughts into action,
You can't put them in action. You have to overcome them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good word. I'll continue to try and release myself from these emotions and thoughts. I don't want to be an emotional woman at the end of the day.
But that's what you're doing. You have the mindset of your mother right now. You have the same mindset that this woman has that you're engaged to.
Yeah, I think you're right. And she's probably feeling like she's dating a woman.
So do the silent prayer. Commit to it. Don't let anything get in the way of that. Get up and do it. rebuildingtheman.com/prayer or silentprayer.video. Do that for 1 year. Stay engaged if you like, but do not marry. Don't buy no house and let her move in. Yeah, she'll take it from you and all that good stuff. So right now, work on you, all right?
All right. I appreciate the input, Jesse Lee. Thanks so much.
All right. Let me know how it goes.
All right. We'll do.
All right.
Have a good day.
All right. What a mess, huh?